Good morning, brothers and sisters. We will begin this with universal prayer. You can be seated, no problem. Just be quiet for a few seconds. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom.
O hidden life, vibrant in every atom.
O hidden light, shining in every creature.
O hidden light, shining in every creature.
O hidden love, embracing all in oneness.
O hidden love, embracing all in oneness.
May each who feels himself as one with thee
May each who feels himself as one with thee
know he is also one with every other.
know he is also one with every other.
Let us be quiet for a few seconds again. Thank you. Very good morning to all of you, and I am very happy to invite you all for today's talk of librarian Miss K. Jaishree. The topic is also very, very interesting. Adyar Library, a treasure, is a definitely international treasure. Lot of things you can get from this library, and she is quite able to give the information of the Adyar Library. You know all, she doesn't need any introduction as such. She is the long time residents of Adyar. Her whole family, father, mother, they were very dedicated theosophists, and she has worked in the Adyar Library. What I found is that she is the book lovers, and she was taking care of all the books and especially putting them in a right way. And she is quite fit in this, and she knows the treasure of this Adyar Library. I am happy to listen and invite her to give what she wants to say about this topic on this series of Adyar Library Communities series what we are conducting every month, Saturday, etc. So I am happy. I invite Jaishree to say something about that. Thank you.
Good morning to all of you. Thank you very much, sir, for your very kind words. I am really delighted to present the topic Adyar Library, a treasure trove. President founder of the Theosophical Society, Henry Steele Olcott, was also the founder of Adyar Library and Research Center, which was founded in 1886 for the revival of Oriental literature, the rehabilitation of the true Pandit in public esteem, the promotion of a higher moral and spiritual aspiration among the Asiatic youth, and a strong mutual regard between the learned of the East and the West. Colonel Olcott. The library had a formal opening on 28 December 1886. Representatives of all the major religions for the first time in history participated in the function, that the Hindu, Parsi, Buddhist, Christian and Muslim priests offered prayers on the same platform for the first time. Dr. Radha Bernier, our former president, former director of Adyar Library, says, when the founders of the Theosophical Society, Henry Steele Olcott and Madam Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, arrived in India in 1879, they realized how necessary it was to recall to the people of India and Sri Lanka, then it was called Ceylon, their own invaluable heritage. When the founders moved from Bombay to Madras in 1882, Madras is Chennai now, in 1882 and took up residence at present international headquarters on the banks of Adyar river, literary activity started immediately. The Theosophical Publishing House, which the Colonel set up and owned, initiated the publication of Sanskrit text and translation in addition to other works. Further, they took it upon themselves to find ways and means to carry the precious learning and lore of the East to the intellectuals of the West. Adyar Library was envisaged as an essential means of implementing the objectives of the Theosophical Society by creating a better mutual appreciation of the philosophy, culture, religious insights of the two hemispheres. Inspired by the impetus given by the founders of the Theosophical Society, Sri Tukaram Tatya of Bombay undertook the publication of Patanjali's Yoga Sutras together with explanation by Dr. Ballantyne and Govinda Shastri Deva. This was followed in 1891 by an edition of 12 principal Upanishads with a translation by Dr. E. Royer, E. B. Cowell and R. R. Mitra. After this, other Sanskrit works of considerable value were made available to the public from Bombay. Through correspondence with Max Muller, the services of Dr. F. Otto Schrader, a distinguished Orientalist, were obtained. Dr. Schrader was able to enhance the value of the work done by the Pandits who were already in the library by introducing the methodology of Western research work, which was hardly known in the East at that time. He was able within a few years build up a fine collection of manuscripts which he chose carefully out of the neglected bundles which were to be found all over India totally uncared for. He served as director of the Adyar Library from September 30th, 1905 to 1915. He also represented the Theosophical Society as a delegate to the 1912 Congress of Orientalists in Athens. Unfortunately, I couldn't get Dr. Schrader's photograph. He was assisted by a Dutch journalist, Johan van Manen, who had mastered several languages including Tibetan. Thousands of research scholars, students, and other serious minded persons have benefited from the unique and invaluable collection of the Adyar Library, which now comprises nearly 20,000 valuable palm leaf and paper manuscripts and more than 1,65,000 printed volumes. The manuscripts include numerous rare Sanskrit works besides those from Sri Lanka, China, Iran, and other eastern countries. They are kept in a large room which is fully air conditioned to help their proper preservation. Library has brought to light rare and unpublished works in the manuscript collection. Some of the manuscripts in the display room deserve special mention. You can see Colonel Olcott here, and maybe this is Schrader, we don't know. There is a rare illustrated manuscript in Sharada script, a system of writing which originated around 8th century AD and was widely used in the ancient times from Afghanistan to Delhi. This is a sample. Also seen is a beautifully illustrated Javanese manuscript, Serat Devarutji, a mystical philosophical tale which was presented to the Adyar Library. There is an illustrated Siamese manuscript. Oh, sorry, I missed one. The entire Ramayana of Valmiki in 24,000 verses in one bundle, written in the finest and neatest writing to be found in the library, is really eye-catching. We don't know, ma'am. But, you know, the writers and the authors were so humble that they didn't write their names. There is an illustrated Siamese manuscript. The only known manuscript of a work on Dharma Shastra, civil and criminal law codes, called Markandeya Smriti, finds a place in this room. Also seen here is a Burmese manuscript in ancient Pali language with lacquer binding, which was found in 1948 on the streets of Rawalpindi during the riots. A manuscript of the original text of Yasna, one of the earliest Zoroastrian scriptures and sacred book of the Parsis. The book of the Esther in Hebrew sheepskin parchment are part of this extraordinary collection. Chinese brushwork can be seen in the set of volumes of the Chinese Tripitaka originally presented to Colonel H.S. Olcott, the president founder of the Theosophical Society and the founder of Adyar Library. Look at the artistic work that they have done for the cover. Masnavi, a beautifully ornamented calligraphic work, verses in the middle and the commentary on the end around it. The Masnavi is an extensive poem written in Persian by Jalaluddin Rumi, also known as Rumi. Masnavi is one of the most influential works of Sufism, ascribed to be like a Quran in Persian. It has been viewed by many commentators as the greatest mystical poem in world literature. It is a spiritual text that teaches Sufis how to reach their goal of being truly in love with God. The printed books include some old and rare manuscripts. One of the oldest books here is Spera Mundi, which was printed at Venice, Italy in 1490. It is a work on astronomy and geography with diagrams and charts which prove that the author knew that the world was round and was published a few years before Christopher Columbus discovered America. The author knew that the world was round. Another one, printed in 1680, is a multilingual lexicon of Turkish, Arabian and Persian to Latin, German, Italian and French, with grammatical notes on Oriental languages. Also on display is a Quran about 600 years old on the left. On the right is a miniature calligraphy of the last 3 short chapters of the Quran, expounding the moral and religious teachings of Islam. The names of Imams of the Shias are written across the verses. Here is a miniature Bible. Sorry. Yeah. Zend Avesta, the Zoroastrian prayer book. A very, very tiny book, the Lord's Prayer, written in 7 languages and seen only through a magnifying glass, or some of the outstanding exhibits on display. Can you see it? The library contains one of the best collections of Sanskrit manuscripts in the whole world. Most of them are on palm leaves and in the South Indian scripts or on paper in Devanagari script. There are also modern transcripts in various scripts of India. Among the printed books, the following languages and scripts are there: Sanskrit in Devanagari script and other Indian scripts, English, German, French, Pali, Burmese, Siamese, Sinhalese, Tibetan, Chinese, Japanese, Annamese, Tamil, Kannada, Telugu, Malayalam, Oriya, Bengali, Marathi, Hindi, Gujarati, Sindhi, Nepalese, Urdu, Arabic, Persian, Gothic, Greek, Slavic script, Polish, Dutch, Danish, Norwegian, Icelandic, Swedish, Russian, Finnish, Yugoslavian, Hungarian, Czechoslovakian, Romanian, Latin, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, and the list goes on. Among the rare treasures of the library are one of the 3 existing copies in India of the Tibetan Religious Encyclopedia, a complete set xylographed on the tough inner bark of the Tibetan shrub of the Tibetan's translation of the Buddhist canon, Kanjur and Tanjore. Several old Chinese and Japanese scroll pictures, some on silk, 2 of which are reputed to be 800 years old, and Chinese scroll manuscript 33 feet long, written in fine gold ink on smooth black paper. The library collection includes a Hebrew Bible with English translation. Real, it looks like that. When you go there, we can see it. How ornamental and beautiful they are. And the little Bible. The Buddhist Tripitakas are to be found in Hardon edition, Shanghai, and the Taisho edition, Chinese. A Chinese edition on the silk paper by the Jodo Japanese sect in 418 volumes in 24,156 pages that couldn't be photographed. The German, French, Spanish, Latin and English collections contain priceless old works, some dating as long as ago 1488. Its museum-like room with its collection of various types of manuscripts, copper engraved overlaid silk and silk paper, palm leaf, some illustrated together with ancient scriptures of many faiths, attract visitors from all parts of India and abroad, while research students come from great distance or arrange to take advantage of its facilities for the study in comparative religion, philosophy, mysticism, art, science, history and literature. The library houses many rare volumes including the Tibetan Book of the Dead. A copper plate manuscript of Dhammacakkappavattana Sutra, Turning of the Wheel of the Law, in Pali work in Sinhalese script. The ceremonies and religious customs of various nations of the known world is a book that describes religious practices and ceremonies from around the world. Originally published in French in Amsterdam between 1723 and 1737 and later translated into English with addition and amendments. It includes a large number of folio of copper plates designed by Bernard Picard. It covers a wide range of religious practices including marriage, funerals, burials and sacrifices. The Bhagavad Gita is a book that contains the dialogues between the Hindu god Krishna and Arjuna, a warrior prince. The book is divided into 18 lectures, each of which covers a different topic related to Hindu philosophy and spirituality. Charles Wilkins, the author, provides a detailed note throughout the book to help readers better understanding of the concept discussed in dialogues. The Bhagavad Gita is considered one of the most important texts in Hinduism and has been studied and revered for centuries. This particular edition was published in 1867 and remains a valuable resource for anyone interested in Hindu philosophy and spirituality. I believe this was the first English translation of Bhagavad Gita. I believe so. A fascinating exhibit is a Chinese scroll of Buddhist hymns from Imperial Library, Peking. Adyar Library Bulletin, Brahma Vidya. With a view to extending the scholarly and cultural influence of the Adyar Library over the world, the journal Brahma Vidya was started in 1937. Research articles by eminent scholars in the field of Sanskrit literature, Indology, culture, etc. are published in this journal. This is the latest Brahma Vidya bulletin that we have brought out recently. The list is endless. So now we can adjourn to the display room, not upstairs. The books are kept there to view some of the great treasures. Are there any questions or comments? I'm reminded of Einstein. Oh, okay.
Can you tell us all when it was founded and where it was initially?
Okay.
Thank you.
The library was founded in 1886 and it was in the main building, headquarters building, that the library was there, and the collection, I'm sorry I have missed that. The collection was there, and there are some photographs that is reserved for next time.
This is a picture of Otto Schrader.
Thank you.
Picture of Otto
Schrader. And it is always a pleasure going through the books or manuscripts in the library. It's a treasure hunt, always very fascinating and interesting. Thank you.
Display room?
Yes, we can now adjourn to the display room and we can have tea first and adjourn to the display room downstairs. And if you want to renew or new membership, you can go up and renew or apply for new membership. I am reminded of a small anecdote of Albert Einstein, and his chauffeur. Some of you may know, or to those who don't know, let me narrate the incident or the story. Einstein had a chauffeur who accompanied him to all the lectures that he gave, and he was at the back listening to from the beginning to the end regarding relative theory of relativity. And so when he went on doing this, he almost knew all the things that he was going to present, and he was very well versed in the chauffeur became very well versed in what Einstein was presenting. So one day when he told Einstein, they decided they will switch roles, and chauffeur was to give a presentation. So he gave a wonderful presentation without any blocks or any hesitation. He gave, and at the end he said questions, and the director of some Royal Asiatic Society or something, he got up and asked a question, and he said, it's such a simple thing, even my chauffeur would know. Thank you.